Aquarius rising, hello, welcome to your May 2021 astrology and tarot update. My name is Tessa. You're watching my channel. If you are new to my channel or if you have already been following my videos, I'm going to go over how this is going to work because I am using a different kind of system that I'm finding so far I really love, and it really allows me to get into the depths of a specific situation and a specific energy that is going on that you should be aware of through May, okay? So the reason that these monthly readings are focusing on your rising sign is because I pull up the natal chart for the current astrology that is in effect. So it's for April 27th, okay? And I pull it up based on your rising sign, okay? So that way I can really see what planets are going on in what area of your life, and I can really just kind of like pinpoint exactly which energies and where that we need to look at. Because astrology encompasses so much different information, and May is 30 days of like different things going on, and there actually are a lot of really interesting astrological events going on in May, and there are a lot of really great astrologers out on YouTube that will go into the specific details and information according to some different astrologies that are going on. But because this is more of like a tarot channel, and I really love to use tarot and oracle cards, I have this astrology, it's called Astro Soul Oracle deck. I have this deck that really is super great. It has all the zodiac signs, all the planets, all the houses, all the aspects, all the moon phases, and this, by pulling cards from this deck, it really allows me to narrow down the energy more specific to you and like what you should be aware of, okay? I mean, it would be very overwhelming to just kind of like try to understand all the different astrological energies at once and to navigate that throughout all of May, right? I'm not going to explain it like this every single time I do these readings. I'm just doing it this one time, getting a little bit more in depth in terms of the explanation, just so you guys can kind of like understand like my method and how I like to do these specific readings. If you are interested more in just like a general oracle and tarot reading for your sun, moon, or rising sign, I do those mid-monthly. And those can vary in focus. It just kind of like depends what I'm inspired by, but they don't go into the Astro Soul Oracle deck, okay? So just keep that in mind. I do personal tarot readings as well, and I also do birth chart analysis as well. So yeah, if you're interested in diving deeper into that, you can email me. All the information that you need is down below in the description box, okay? Yeah, so I do have your natal chart pulled up with your Aquarius rising, and then I also have a moon phase app, okay? So the way the moon phases work, if I happen to pull a moon phase card, I'm going to look to see when that moon phase is occurring. So there's going to be just something about that date, and that is specific to like a date in April, okay? So the moon phases are really important in astrology. The moon is the only astrological body that rotates the earth, so it's very important to our day-to-day, right? It's important to our day-to-day. And the moon is actually the most important planet in astrology, in Vedic astrology, because it is about the day-to-day, and it's about our thoughts on the day-to-day level, our emotions on the day-to-day level, okay? Because we go through phases, and the moon does represent like the ebb and flow of life, the ebb and flow of emotions, moodiness, you know, you're sad, you're happy, you're angry, you're frustrated, whatever the case may be. Okay, so those moon phases are important. Yeah, so with that being said, I'm also using the Star Seed Oracle deck, so we're going to get further insight from that, and I'm also using the Muse Tarot. That will also expand on the story. I do spiritual guidance, so I focus very much on your specific energy and what it is you need to know and offer guidance through that. Of course, if there are individuals that show up in the reading, I will of course mention that, because unless you're in complete isolation and you don't talk to anybody, relationships are an important part of our life. Relationships affect us. They affect our energy. So, you know, it's not like you know, it would be silly for me to be like, no, this is just about you. This is just about you. Obviously, you could have dependents. It's not always just about us. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying. So with that being said, let's do this. All right, so what is the specific energy that Aquarius needs to focus on for May 2021? What is the specific energy that Aquarius needs to focus on for May 2021? What is the specific energy that Aquarius needs to focus on for May 2021? What is the specific energy that Aquarius needs to focus on for May 2021? Okay, so I'm just going to shuffle all three decks first. What is the specific energy that Aquarius needs to focus on for May 2021? What is the specific energy that Aquarius, oh my god, needs to focus on for May 2021? What is the specific energy that Aquarius needs to focus on for May 2021? What is the specific energy that Aquarius needs to focus on for May 2021? What is the specific energy that Aquarius needs to focus on for May 2021? What is the specific energy that Aquarius needs to focus on for May 2021? Shuffling the smaller decks first and then the oracle deck, it's like my hands get spazzed out by the size. What are the specific energies Aquarius needs to focus on for May 2021? What are the specific energies that Aquarius needs to focus on for May 2021? What are the specific energies that Aquarius needs to focus on for May 2021? What are the specific energies that Aquarius needs to focus on for May 2021? What are the specific energies Aquarius needs to focus on for May 2021? Alright, Aquarius, I'm excited about this. I don't know why. I just am. Okay, let's get started. Ooh, oh my god, I was like, for a second, I couldn't count. The 12th house. The 12th house. The 12th house is ruled by Pisces and Neptune, naturally. You have Capricorn in your 12th house. Okay, so 12th house represents I surrender. It says this is the house of intuition and the unconscious. Here is where we can see transcendent experiences, hospitals, prisons, secret agendas, and hidden enemies, as well as unknown possibilities and one's weaknesses. This house is also associated with long-term confinement, seclusion, and psychic abilities. Ooh. Oh my goodness. Okay, so with Capricorn in your 12th, ruling your 12th house, and I know that Pluto is in Capricorn right now as well, I feel like the universe is really wanting you to become more aware of what's going on around you through a spiritual way. Okay, so the best way to explain this, especially with Capricorn, the way that I'm feeling it is there are things that are going on around you that you can't see, right? And Aquarius, you guys are very intellectual. You're very mental. You're very like, you have this higher mind that is on kind of on a different level, okay? And I feel like the universe really, really wants you to be more open and aware spiritually with the things that are unknown. Like, allow your mind to open itself up to the possibility that what you know has more to it. That there is more behind the scenes. That like whatever your perspective is at the moment, if you have a very specific perception of something, a very specific perspective on a particular event, or it could have to do with like things going on in our government, it could have to do with like social causes, it could have to do with politics, it could have to do with your job, like things that are run by institutions, okay, especially with that Capricorn. So Capricorn energy represents like career, institution, government, business, things like that. So just, it kind of just wants you to like use your higher mind to understand and that there is more to the story than what you see. Okay, and there's more to the story than your own perspective and your own perception of it. Scorpio. Okay, next card is Scorpio. We are currently in Scorpio moon. Okay, so this full moon could have been very significant to you. This was actually a very powerful, of course, it has different effects for different people. For me, it was pretty powerful. I am a Scorpio moon, and I actually went to the beach to go check it out. But anyway, see, what did I tell you? So you have Scorpio in your 10th house, and the 10th house represents your work. It represents your career. So there's something deeper going on here, okay? There's something deeper unraveling that is connecting like your work with a bigger picture, okay? So I don't know, like, do you feel like a detective at work? Do you feel like in tune on a deeper level with your career and with the things that are going on around you in reference to your job? Are you starting to speculate on some things? Are you starting to wonder about like maybe some of the unknown energies that could be taking place? This is really, really interesting and very deep and pretty intense. It's like, I feel like, I don't know, like maybe you're starting to question, and if you weren't questioning before, you might begin questioning some of the practices, okay? Like being almost like a detective in reference to how your job is practicing certain things. So I feel like the universe really wants you to be aware of that, like on a spiritual level, okay? On a spiritual level, not necessarily to do anything about it, like, you know, not necessarily vocal, but this is like much deeper. It's just more like of an inner knowing. It's more of like a tuning in and just keeping your eyes open. So that's really interesting, Aquarius. Oh. I'm like, retrograde. Yeah. Okay, so this is like, you might have to go back and really think and retrace. Okay, so you got retrograde, and today, Pluto, so this is unfolding very, very interestingly. Like, oh my God. So far, like, your guys' reading is like the most mysterious. Like, I feel like there's some, I don't know, like mysterious detective shit going on here. Okay, you got retrograde. And retrograde is when a planet appears to be going backwards, but only because another planet is passing it up, and then it kind of does this like backwards thing. Retrogrades kind of make us retrace our steps. And I find this interesting because Pluto is currently in Capricorn, and today, literally today, April 27th, Pluto is going retrograde in Capricorn, in your 12th house. 12th house, Scorpio time. So there's something going on between your work, your career, and the spiritual realm. Like, maybe you are questioning especially with the retrograde over here. The retrograde kind of makes you go backwards a little bit just to kind of make sure that you're on the right path, just to make sure that what you're feeling and what you're thinking is like in line with your path. So I'm feeling this more like happening right now or just within the next few days. I guess we can see how it unfolds if the cards want to show it that way throughout May. But I'm feeling this energy very strongly right now. Like maybe you are trying to figure out emotionally how you feel, how you truly feel on a deeper level about your career, about your place of work. And you could be questioning your own feelings. You could be getting certain vibes. You could be tuning in to something very particular, but you're questioning it as well because you don't have like evidence, right? And you're not really sure how you feel about it right now at this point in time. So this is really, really intense. Like I'm feeling some major, like inner, like detective-ish kind of work. So I'm curious to see how the starseed, okay. Ooh, lifting the veil. Are you going to start to question things, or are you going to start to question yourself? Questioning everything. So even questioning yourself, you're questioning everything. So it's kind of like questioning everything. Anything unaligned must go. Very interesting, Aquarius. Very interesting. Lifting the veil. You could first start questioning yourself. When does Pluto go back? Oh, it doesn't matter. Okay, so Pluto's going retrograde. So during that retrograde period, I feel like it's going to be important not to jump to conclusions about anything, but to allow yourself to at least form questions, right? To just question. To question your own feelings, to question your own intuition, and maybe even try to do some investigating, okay? Try to investigate a little bit about this. And like I said, this is like a personal journey, but it's a personal journey that is affected by your career and your work environment. And even possibly what you do at work. Like, is it right for you, right? Like, is it in alignment with who you are and what you truly want out of life, okay? So that is also very much, this could be like a deeper personal kind of spiritual detective-like experience about needing to just kind of go further within your own maybe motives, maybe even like your own trying to figure out your own contribution and your own sense of oh my goodness. Sorry, I just want to make sure that I get the right words out because it's like a very, very like deep, it's a very deep feeling. And I don't want to say it's confusing. It's not confusing. It's just, I'm not even getting the feeling like you're depressed at work. I don't think you're depressed. I'm not getting depression. I'm getting just wondering and questioning if it's the right path for you, if it's the right job for you. But it could also help to maybe start getting to know your coworkers, right? Getting to know your coworkers can bring you deeper into understanding whether or not it's something you want to be part of. So I hope that makes sense. Okay, we're going to move on here. Earth School, life lessons, soul growth, study, higher learning. Yeah, interesting. So maybe like the universe doesn't really want you to give up yet on yourself. Like maybe it wants you to retrace your steps and kind of like maybe approach your job from a new angle. Allow yourself to learn new things. Not necessarily like if you are already really good at your job, not necessarily about like your job, maybe about the people in your job, just kind of getting to know the people you work with a little bit better. Like open yourself up to discovering something new and learning something new. Earth School. So this is creating valuable relationships with your coworkers, with your employees, with your employer, if they're open to that. Yeah. Messenger, serious energy, bringing harmony and balance. Okay. So maybe you feel like things are just not as balanced as you would like it to be at work. Something is just feeling a little off, and that is why you're kind of going through these kind of energies over here. Something's just kind of feeling off, something is not in harmony, and you want to maybe use your own willpower and your own intelligence to kind of like lift the veil and to express your feelings maybe, and to understand and learn more about what's going on with other people at work, so you can help with bringing more harmony and balance at your job. I'm feeling this very much as a work. So if it's not resonating with you, it's just not resonating with you. But I'm definitely feeling this message very specifically about like some career or work-oriented stuff. Okay, the Wheel of Fortune. So like a new beginning. This is Jupiter energy. So I feel like if you are able to kind of take all these things into consideration, it will bring about a new cycle. It'll bring about a new cycle. And I am feeling this as like unfolding through the month. And just kind of taking things as it comes. And a new cycle will come from it. It will allow a more open dynamic, maybe like people being more open and honest about their feeling about like something in regards to work. And things will the wheel will start to turn a little smoother, and things will start to feel a little bit more balanced, okay? It's not going to happen overnight, okay? These things are just kind of like, they take time. 7 of Emotions. This is the 7 of Cups. This is Venus in Scorpio energy. I'm curious where, oh yeah, Venus is currently in Taurus, 4th house, okay. Okay, so this is really interesting energy. This is kind of like coming out of nowhere a little bit. I don't know if this has to do with work. You're looking at something. There are still some illusions that are unclear to you, and it could be like other people that you work with. This could be like other people that you work with, maybe people who are below you, but not necessarily. Maybe people who are even like above you. You're kind of looking at them like, well, are you sure you want to do that? But you don't know the depths, okay? These fishies over here, this represents people that you don't really know anything about. You don't really know anything about them, and you're just kind of looking at them like, what? You know, or like you're kind of curious about them and like what they're doing. Like, what are you doing? You know, like you could be like an established worker. You could be a someone who has just like established a certain position in your company. and you're kind of like looking, maybe these could be like new people that are coming in, new employees, and you're just kind of like, oh my God, like, what are you doing? What do you do? Like, you still don't really know what they're about, how they work. Okay. Okay, so I'm sensing a bit of a teacher in you here. Seven of Materials. This is Saturn in Taurus. So a little bit of like maybe trying to help them with that 7-7 energy, about like showing them the ropes, showing them what's up. So this could be very much about like this new, and this could be that that underlying energy that you've been feeling, like something is up at work and like you have no idea, but like there's all these new people coming in, right? And you know, because bosses don't really tend to just talk to their employees about like, I don't know, things going on. Like a lot of companies will keep things a secret. They keep things to themselves, and then they just like throw things at you, and they're like, okay, here is what's going on, and you're like, okay. But there is the kind of there is this feeling that, you know, you are wanting to help, and you are falling into a kind of like energy of like pruning, like trimming, like you kind of want to like tailor, you want to tailor the people around you to fit more of your idea of what works. And if you have been there for a while, then you probably know. And it's possible that your boss is even giving you that kind of job. It's kind of like a trainer, right? Like kind of like a trainer type. Saturn and Taurus, yeah. And you're kind of like nurturing the new fish, you know, helping them grow. 8 of Voices. Yeah. There's just some stress going on here, 8 of Voices. 8 of Voices is kind of like a mental prison. I'm sorry. This is Jupiter and Gemini energy. This is like having all this inside of you, and you just feel like you can't really express how you really feel. You can't really say what you really want to say. It's like you're trying really hard to be like this. Taurus energy is very nurturing. It kind of comes from a more like love, like creative, motherly perspective. But you're an air sign, you know, like you wanna, you know, you wanna be like cutthroat. You wanna like say exactly. So there could be this like feeling like this situation is kind of putting you in a bit of a mental prison, because you have to watch how you talk. You have to watch how you communicate. So, you know, you could start to feel just like maybe like a little trapped by it, but I don't see this as anything like that you can't handle. It could be kind of annoying and tedious, but I am feeling that ultimately you will be able to figure out a way to channel that mental energy into productivity at work, or into something else, possibly creative or expressive outside of work. So, oh my God, this was like, I really enjoyed doing this reading, Aquarius. Let me know if this helped, if it resonated. Drop me a like or a comment. Hit me up, email if you want. I feel like this was a very specific reading. So, yeah, until then, I'll see you next time. Bye.